Saturn. I am not going to repeat the word the most feared planet, because personally saying, I love Saturn. It's a perfect teacher, it's a perfect master who, after having disciplined us, we actually start reaping abundance. So most often this question is always coming to me is to how am I next 2017, or how is my next year, or how am I going to be placed next 2 years? Well, the deciding factor is the planet Saturn does decide that factor, and especially now, if you really want to know where and how will you grow for the next 2 years, you need to understand this, that the disciplined Saturn is back in the worldly Sagittarius. Now, Saturn was in a watery sign in Scorpio, and now it turns into Sagittarius. Actually, it had entered Sagittarius September 2015 and remains there till September 2017. Sorry, December 2017. Now, you must understand, Saturn is also like that child. When the movements take place, it is like the first step. And then within a year and a half, once Saturn is firmly embedded in a particular zodiac sign, it becomes more firm. And when it becomes firm, that is when the results are more prominent. That is how in 2017, the Saturn move is supposed to be very eminent, is supposed to be very prominent, and it pushes us to evolve our beliefs and open our minds. So we need to completely understand ourselves. We need to understand what are our core beliefs in the heart, and it also pushes us towards opening our minds. We need to be more open, we need to be more receptive to the situations that are happening around us, to the people that are around us, and you don't have to be, I would say, flamboyant or unrealistic. You need to be very realistic, and you need to understand it from a practical point of view. Now, on December 23rd, 2014, Saturn, the ruler of maturity, growth and challenges, left the watery sign Scorpio for Sagittarius, a new cycle that will last till December 19th, 2017. So Saturn briefly left Sagittarius in 2015, you know, when those retrogrades take place, and then it settled back comfortably for a 2-year stay. Now Saturn visits each zodiac sign every 28 to 30 years. So it's after 28-30 years that Saturn has come back into Sagittarius, and so its arrival heralds a definite 2 to 3 year period that reveals where our toughest lessons are going to lie. So you need to learn, you need to be introspective, you need to be reflective, and you need to understand that what are the lessons that we need to learn. Having learned those lessons, when we apply it practically to our life, abundance starts, success starts, happiness starts. But what is important for it? The realization to set in. Now, this transit is going to affect every zodiac differently. Now, this was the major overall, that how we have to learn our toughest lessons, how we have to learn that what is it that we need to do to overcome the obstacles that we are facing, what are our core beliefs, and how we need to be a little open-minded and receptive to what the other people are telling us, so that we grab the best opportunities and we start paving our way more realistically in life. Now, Saturn's last tour of Sagittarius was November 1985. And it was there until 1988 November. So if you were born then, you should actually reflect back through your personal history. You may see the reoccurring themes again happening now, or issues that resurface. Now this is for every zodiac sign. Okay, The last transit was in November 1985. So if you guys remember or have a good memory, you can actually reflect back what happened to you all during that time, what are the lessons you learned, and how did you change your circumstances. Because most of the themes would be reoccurring this year also. Actually, things don't change much, they are very much in symmetry. It doesn't mean that in 2017 when the transits takes place they're any different than what they had happened 10 years back or 20 years back, or then what they are going to happen in future. Actually the themes are the same, only we keep evolving as human beings, and we need to understand that what happened to us that time, how did we learn our practical lessons, how did we overcome the obstacles. And you will see that Saturn basically spotlights your life's work, so it affects the professional life more. So rather than saying honey and money going together, I would now say money and honey go together. That if you're financially strong, if you're financially stable and professionally you're doing well, your personal life will automatically be happy. Because Saturn is a tough taskmaster, so it actually spotlights what is your life's works, starting from professional life, filtering onto your personal life. So you need to stand tall and get cracking on the next round of this soul assignment. So basically it is a reflective energy, basically it is a practical realistic energy which you need to feel within yourself. As when the Saturn comes, you don't need to fear, you just need to become realistic. Even people who are living in a celebrity status, even people who have achieved so much in life, they also need to stand back and reflect on their souls. Because happiness doesn't mean that when you are become an achiever or a celebrity you're happy, or when you have nothing you're happy. Basically happy comes from the contentment of your soul. So when the Saturn transit takes place, which has already taken place in 2015, but it is going to be there in December 2017, and since they always say that when the Saturn is going out, actually when it is in the second half, it becomes more stronger because the realizations set in. So Saturn and Sagittarius are strange fellows, they're strange mates, and because Sagittarius is the sign of optimism and expansion. Now what happens, Sagittarians are very sporty people, they're very positive people, they're very optimistic, right? And it shows expansion, they like everything big. They like everything large. So while Saturn is all about restriction and harsh reality checks. Have you understood the combination? We are allowing our mind to be open and expand. We are allowing our mind to get into, those where we have these creative ideas which could be larger than life. But what Saturn does is it gives you a reality check, which means cut your coat according to your cloth. Very simple. Actually, if you understand it, it's very simple. My mind is wanting to do certain things. My mind is wanting to expand. My mind is wanting to really go and do wonders. By all means, go and do those wonders. But get a reality check and cut your coat according to your cloth is the basic thing that will help you tide over this Saturn period. Not be fearful, but in fact lead and tread on concrete solid steps. Now this binding of, it's actually the binding of opposites. One side I'm telling you go ahead and expand because the Saturn has come into a Sagittarius. The other side I'm saying is be restrictive, be practical and take a reality check. And again, at the cost of repeating myself, cut your coat according to your cloth.